Thank you, Brian. There are a lot of orchards in our community that offer the classic fall traditions like picking pumpkins and drinking cider.
And one orchard just turned 110 years old this October. So meteorologist Richey spoke to John Ackerman to learn the history behind his farm.
Ackerman Farms has been serving the community for nearly 2 decades now, and their iconic white house is now a staple of the community. But did you know there's a rich history of how it all started?
The house behind me, my great-grandfather designed. My grandfather himself helped to build it. And my dad was born right in the room behind me in the parlor. On these very steps, my mom used to play ukulele in the summer, and we'd sit out in the summer and listen to her sing. Grew up farming side by side with my father. Dad and I farmed together in the 80s. It was a tough time to be farming. We had a drought of 83 that was the worst they'd had in 50 years. And 5 years later, we had a worse drought in 88. You either got huge, or you got out, or you got an off-the-farm job, or if you had a small acreage like we do, you found some specialty crops and farmed the ground intensively. In 1998, I grew some pumpkins for Libby's. And as pumpkins tend to do, they grew right down into the creek. They didn't get harvested, and I thought, well, that's a shame, I don't want to waste them. So I went back out and I put them in my truck and I laid them out in the grass. And people began to stop. They said, "Are those for sale?" And I said, "You bet they are." We had my mom's school bell sitting on a bale of straw, because Mom used to be a teacher way back when. We had a little sign that said, "Ring the bell if you need help." And we had an honors bucket there. And that was the start. Every year we grow our ornamental pumpkins. So we pick them by hand. We actually go out, we cut them free by hand, we put them on our trailers. But I'm not sure that they realize the number of hours that we will put in. Why do I do it? There's a lot of pressure, especially when you're close to town like we are, to sell out. And we're so close to town that our land is worth development money. It's worth more than it could possibly be worth for just farming. But you have to make a lifestyle choice. You know, there's all kind of riches. There's monetary riches, but there's something to be said about the raising of beauty. There's something to be said about, you know, working side by side with God and the land. It's just a way of life that once it's in your blood, it's something that's very difficult to walk away from.
Ackerman Farms plans on staying a staple of the community for generations to come in order to tell their story. For Heart of Illinois ABC, I'm meteorologist Richey.